Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining in for the presentation on VAPT, where we are going to showcase our skill on cybersecurity VAPT services. Me and my team will be showcasing the presentation on VAPT. So we are just 1 minute away to start the presentation. Visit next slide, please. So good morning, everyone. My name is Sumit Jain. I'm from Adviacent Consulting Services Private Limited. We are based in Delhi. So we are going to start this particular session on vulnerability assessment to human-led penetration testing. So this session will give you skill set about Adviacent on cybersecurity, how and what is the skill set we are having in our team to give you a VAPT services. Next slide, please. So in today's session, myself and along with me, Umang Chawla is there, who is our cybersecurity expert, and Ruchit Patel, who is also cybersecurity expert, will be showcasing about the skill set which we are having. Next slide, please. So as far as Adviacent is concerned, Adviacent is a company who started in 2014. I'm already having a experience of 18 years where we have where I have sold so many worked with so many companies in cybersecurity like CyberRoam, FAT5, Gutshield, and many more. So I started this company in 2014 with the mindset of providing cybersecurity solution to corporates and enterprise customers. So we have around 40 years of collective management experience, and we are the among us fastest growing system integrator company in this particular 2019. We got the SME Channels Awards also for this. We headquartered in New Delhi. We have around 200 plus customers in last 5 and 6 years. Next slide, please. So as far as our portfolio concerns, these are the kind of services which we provide to our customers, which includes core and edge networking solutions, wireless security solutions, endpoint security solutions, along with antivirus endpoint security and anti-ransomware encryption. Our expertise into VAPT and risk assessment and application security solutions. We also provide gateway level security as in next generation firewall as well as unified threat management solutions. Next slide, please. So the topic of today is about vulnerability assessment through human-led penetration testing, with Ruchit will taking ahead from this particular side and give you the insight about our services and why VAPT is required for corporates. Over to you, Ruchit.
Thank you, Sumit. Thank you everyone for joining today's session. So today we will be looking at what is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, what is the differentiations, and you will learn a lot of things during this webinar. So here are some facts and figure of 2020 other than the COVID hit the world. So if you look at the slides, so there are 6 news I have collected from the internet, and those are from year 2020. So celebrities like Priyanka Chawla, the law firm representing this kind of celebrity, they have been hacked. The Southeast Asia has the biggest data breach till the date has been happened in 2020. Over the 1 lakh national IDs of Indians are put on the dark web for the sale. So all the personal information of the users on the dark web. Beam application, that is a kind of a payment gateway kind of application. 7 million users have been breached. Data breach has been reported. Companies like Honda that has been targeted with ransomware attacks from the hackers. And recently, like last week, Microsoft has released disclosed like 129 flows kind of update. This is the largest Microsoft update, and there are like uh, SMB attacks which can lead to remote code, remote command execution. So these are the latest hacks has been done uh, in last 6 months, I would say. And there are plenty of the attacks, but I don't have much time to discuss those. So let's move on. So, what is vulnerability assessment? So, it is a process of analyze or assess and analyze the risk of the key system, network, or applications. So, let's discuss uh, nowadays everyone is talking about like we are doing like VS scan and all, but what is actually we are doing? So we are performing the VS scan. We discuss the actual scope with the customer and not run the scan on their whole network. We also pay more attention to key assets. Okay, so these are your servers, so we will be doing like more attention, paying more attention to those things. Then identifying the vulnerability and configuration issues. So we do like some organizations are thinking like, okay, we are blocked everything. No one can access our resources from outside our network. But they don't know if someone is sitting in their network and sending all the data out from their network. So this is also one part we are assessing during the vulnerability.
Present, go ahead.
Yeah, so can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you guys for your attention. I cannot see the both the screen at the same time, so that did not came to my attention. Sorry about that. So
Can you go to the previous slide, please? Maybe we missed in between. Okay. Okay.
yeah, sure. So do you want me to explain? Okay, so I can start with identification. So, like the third point, identification and differentiation of vulnerabilities between exploitable versus non-exploitable vulnerabilities. So, we don't usually just scan the customer's assets or application and provide them a report. We do in-depth analysis and differentiation between what should be provided to the customer and what should be not provided to the customer. So, like we don't provide junk information, so there is like only the information. We don't provide those kind of things to the customer. We provide like actual values only. So that there the penetration testing comes into the picture. So we do like a goal driven testing and focus testing and identify all the possible routes where attacker can gain access to the customer's environment or target asset. So we do like after automated testing, we focus on potential given external access to the internal network. Then also we identify the potential damage and further internal compromise an attacker could carry out once they can access cross the perimeter protection. So if you have any of the customer have the firewall, and once that has been bypassed by the attacker, then we go into that detail and we see, okay, these things can be done if someone hack into their firewall, or they can bypass once they bypass the firewall. We provide proof of concept. So after thorough investigation and identified, we identify the vulnerabilities. We create a proof of concept, like a reporting kind of thing, with all possible exploit scenarios. So, for example, someone's firewall or someone's internal network or someone's server uh, has been attacked, or has been hacked during our assessment. So if we are able to take over that server, then we will provide like a detailed report with multiple screenshots on it, and we will demonstrate the complete scenario. Okay, this has been done by our security team to achieve this goal. We do like a manual approach supported by the automated vulnerability assessment tools. So, like large networks, kind of like hundreds or 200 or thousands of IP address, we run automated tool to narrow down the vulnerabilities, the publicly identified vulnerabilities, or CVEs, then we manually exploit or manually verify all of those and provide a comprehensive report. So why someone, or why do you need the VAPT? So why your organization should do this? So there are like okay, so some customers are say, okay, I did the last year, but do you think I should do every year or like a twice in a year? So my answer is yes, you should. So there are evolving tools, tactics, and procedures used by cyber criminals to breach the networks. So we saw in the news last week, Microsoft released the largest patch since today, right? So if you have done the VAPT or penetration testing last year, and your servers are running on those versions, then you are no more secure. You have to do, you have to upgrade, or you have to patch your servers or systems. So yes, you need a VAPT. VAPT helps to protect organizations by providing visibility of their security weaknesses and guidance to address them. Okay, so after if you done the VAPT, then your security team or your IT team will have knowledge that okay, we are running like a vulnerable version or the older version of the systems. These are the steps. These are the steps you should follow to update those things or those servers or those patches. VAPT is increasingly more important for the organizations waiting to achieve their compliance. So uh, this is like a self-explanatory, and everybody knows like uh, VAPT is sometimes a compliance requirement as well. So this is the common or kind of a myth about the security from the organization perspective. So they say like, okay, I have firewalls. We spend lots of money after firewalls and antiviruses. All our machines and servers are running on the XYZ firewall or XYZ antivirus. I am using SSL TLS. All the communications are going over the encrypted channel. All organization traffic and data is encrypted. Full disk encryption is enforced on all of the workstations or all of the machines. Okay, these are the organizations thinking about the security, but on the other sides, what the hackers are thinking about this thing. So hackers are or cybersecurity attackers are thinking like, okay, I can bypass the firewall if you are running the older version or vulnerable frameworks. We like antivirus signatures are not updated, then so anyone can bypass or install a ransomware or a virus on those machines. It uses a system default function, so uh, as a legit user instead of a hacker, so someone can run like a two-line script and access the complete machine. Even I can do during the assessment to demonstrate with the customer during the internal assessments. For 95 percentage of application layer attacks are over HTTPS. So if you are running for example, I take one of the example of banking application we did few months back. So they have a running HTTPS site, but they did not have the cookies secure with like a HTTP only and secure flag, and we ended up exploiting one of the cross-site scripting and compromise the user's account, and eventually we can access the complete user's account. So these kind of things happen over the HTTPS as well. Okay, some organizations are using VPN servers, but those are not up to date. They have not disabled some of the unused port, so they also allows unauthorized access as well. Uh, if your organization data is encrypted, but if I have your username and password, so there are plenty of ways to get someone's username and password. So once those are leaked, anyone can access like a target user session and execute an attack from the user perspective. So these are the kind of problems with the organization. So like their IT team or someone from the organization, they do not have like enough knowledge about their internet presence. So you don't know like what kind of ports are open from the internet to the internet, or like what IP addresses, or how many of your IP addresses are open to the internet. Use of deprecated firmware or software. Firewalls are installed, but those are running on older firmwares. Then it is possible to access or bypass the firewall. Even in worst case, someone can just just uh, just turn off the firewall. It is also possible. Then lack of adequate security policies and configuration. Okay, you have firewall, I have IDP and everything in place, but they are not configured. They are not configured to restrict everything and anything. Then lack of security testing in IT assets. So we have web application, we have QA team, we have a performance testing, but they do not go with penetration testing for the web application or mobile application. Then it may result into a security breach or a compromise of user accounts as well. So for all of these things, there are like a plenty of different kind of attack surfaces are there. So increased cyber attacks. So as I show in the starting of the presentation, like there are plenty of things, plenty of attacks are happening over the world. So that is the main reason attackers are having the better side than the organizations. Open internal network. Okay, so someone is inside your network, they can access everything. So someone is accessing your guest Wi-Fi, then they can access your internal network. They can even access your internal database server. That is also one biggest issue nowadays within the organizations. Internet facing as networks. Nobody knows like how many IP addresses, how many domains, how many subdomains are accessible over the internet. It's very hard to track those things. Mobile and web applications. So no penetration testing has been performed on web and mobile applications. Email phishing. I don't have to explain this. Everybody is receiving plenty of emails on daily basis. Outdated software. Okay, I have seen like Windows XP has been deprecated, and some of the ATM machines or was running on the Windows XP few years back. Now they all of those are upgraded, but it was the scenario. So in that case, hackers have advantage over the executing a Windows XP command executions. Ransomware attacks. Someone sends you email.
Richard,
Hello.
please check on presentation view. Once again, it has been changed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay.
Right, so go ahead.
Yep. So ransomware attack, someone sends you email with a Word document or PDF document, and and once you access that document, a small part of script has been installed in your machine, and that encrypts everything. And when you try to open some of your important files, it asks you for the ransom in like payment or something like that. And that's kind of attacks are very common nowadays. Wireless networks. So your company has a guest wireless network, and that is open network, but someone connects to that network, they can access pretty much everything internally within your network. After attack effects. So okay, organizations are not spending money after security. They say, okay, we will see when someone will attack us. We will not be attacked because we have no internet presence. We have secure internal networks and everything. But once they has been affected with an attack, there will be a downtime. So customer or vendors or anyone from the organization, they cannot access their network, they cannot access their applications, and data is also not available to legit users, and that affect the time sensitive business. So for example, if any of the trading company affects with this kind of attack, then they will have a huge impact to their customers because it is time sensitive business. Ransom, as I mentioned, you have to pay huge.
Again, someone else presenting receipt.
Ritik, please.
Okay.
You can pin this presentation so that no need to change.
Ritik, pin your presentation.
Okay. Okay. Is that good?
Right.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So ransom, you have to pay a huge amount of money to access your own data because of because of a small mistake from the security perspective. Uh, Impact to the brand image. So yeah, your name will be in the news media everywhere with a bad image or bad impression. This led to next one. Clients ask about their data. So they ask like, okay, my data has been hacked. Any of my personal information or payment information has been leaked to someone else. End user and customers question about their data and security. Like, okay, I will trust you. I can trust you, but what if these things will happen again in the near future? And that leads to next one, losing customer trust. Customers are losing their trust. Eventually, they will leave, and all this result into drop into the balance sheet. So this will lead to like a loss of business eventually. So now, how we can help? What is our methodology for VAPT? So we discuss the scope with your team. We don't once you provide like list of applications, IP addresses, policies, we don't directly jump into the testing part. We discuss with your team, we discuss with your internal team, we discuss with your managers and all. Okay, what is more important, what is not important, what is that assets? We are not going to spend time and money on those part. We will be only focusing on what is important to you guys. So we will discuss things, we will gather information from you guys. We will do, okay, are you running on what kind of softwares, what kind of OS, what kind of servers, what kind of hardware you are using. Then we will do the actual testing or actual scanning part. We will do the VA vulnerability assessment on.
Ritik, your presentation again. You have to check.
I did that. Okay. Okay, we run vulnerability assessment scans on all of those assets. Then we will find the hundreds or thousands of findings. We will see, okay, what are the actual findings and what are the false positive. We will remove the false positive or only the informational things from the report and perform a manual testing on the VA results. Then we will provide like a custom report to the customer uh, that will have like lots and lots of important information, that will have detailed findings, evidence, descriptions, how to remediate the things. We also that's not done. We Our job is not done at that point. We will also help to execute the remediation provided by our team. If the customer's dev team need like a help from our side, we also provide like a specific code snippet for the remediation as well. And we also provide the retest within the limited time of period. So if they fix within like a 60 days, we will run a retest on the specific environment. We offer VAPT for infrastructure network, so internal external network, web application, mobile applications, API calls for web and mobile, cloud assessment for Azure and AWS, social engineering assessments, and these are the assessment types from our side. So black box VA scans or penetration testing, that has been done externally without any prior knowledge to the customer's environment. We just capture the IP address or web application address and all URLs and all, and that would be completely from attacker perspective. Then comes to gray box. It is half internal, half external, with some information about the customer's asset, and that is a insider and attacker perspective both. And then comes to white box. So that is also external, internal, and with the knowledge of the network and system. So we'll discuss the scope with the customer. We'll discuss the network system with the customer. We have the credential for their application or network, and that would be kind of insider perspective. These are few more types. So authenticated testing and unauthenticated testing. So it is the same. So externally, unauthenticated is externally done. No prior knowledge to the environment or application or network. Attacker perspective, and we will also do open source intelligence information gathering. So uh, that is something completely attacker perspective. So we search internet for your organization's information. That would include like network, URL, subdomains, domains, database for breach passwords and all. Then authenticated testing, that will be internal and external perspective with knowledge of network and system, and from the internal user perspective. So we will actually test the application as the actual user of application or network. And we also do like open source and for intelligence gathering for this as well. We will deliver like a two reports. One report with a security report with executive summary, high level risk summary, detailed vulnerability information, and other is Excel, that is more on like actionable remediation tracker for retesting and validation. These are the customers we have worked so far. There are some very huge and popular name. These are the commonly asked questions after our presentations or webinar. So what is the general methodology or process for the pen test? How long does it take for the perform a pen test, and what to get the security early in the life cycle? So you can just read it out. There will be some time to ask questions from your side as well. We are offering a free assessment.
Your screen is not visible.
Please show your screen. Yeah, it's working.
Okay. So we are offering a free assessment to the participants of this webinar. This is for gaining a visibility into organization cybersecurity risk with free assessment offer. We do external facing one IP address or one URL test for free. We will check for a risk score or risk level. We'll also assess the risk matrix with active threats, and this is for vulnerable system and vulnerable application. You will receive like a 1 or 2 pager report after this assessment, and to opt for this assessment, I'm just sharing this link. So you can go to this link right now, and you can fill a form. That is a small form with few fields on it, and yeah, we will capture that data, and we will contact each of those customers for free assessment offer. So you can book a free assessment from this link.
Meanwhile, Rachit, you can take questions from chat and answer them.
Okay, so I'm just stop sharing my screen for a minute, and then we'll look into the questions and talk more about it. Okay, so please tell more about some good tools for the VAPT. So let's start. Okay, let me just see if I'm not missing anything. What's happening? Okay, so this is the first one. Okay, please tell me more about some good tools for VAPT. So we are using NASAS for vulnerability assessment. For penetration testing, we use Burp Suite along with some proprietary scripts which we have developed with like in-house. We also see like, okay, what sort of findings or what sort of exploit is available. We will also perform manual testing on those things. So we'll use some tools as and when required. Okay, let's move to next one. Is there any free tool available for basic testing? For basic testing, this is very vast term. There are tools available for the basic testing, but it depends. Like you want to test network, web, mobile. It depends on what sort of test you want to do. Is there any tool for iOS and Android for dynamic security analysis? Yes, there are tools available for iOS and Android dynamic security assessment. So we use MobSF for iOS and Android both, but MobSF needs to be configured in depth for dynamic analysis. Static analysis can be done very easily, but dynamic analysis you have to do some more configuration. Apart from highlighting issues. Okay, so apart from highlighting the issues after VAPT is done, how you assist to resolve those? Okay, so for example, one of the customer is having mobile application and web application with multiple issues over the API, local storage, and web application. Then we will provide them information with like a standard remediation, and if they do not understand those wordings, then we will discuss, okay, for example, cross-site scripting. If they are not able to remediate that part, then we can assist them, okay, you do HTML encoding to remediate this issue. Okay, now they don't know how to do HTML encoding, then we will provide like a small code snippet or example where they can actually see, okay, this is what we are talking about. So this is the in-depth level of remediation support we do. Is there any tool for rational dynamic? Okay, that's again uh, okay, basic test for network assessment. So basic test for network assessment, you guys can use Arcuni, you guys can use OpenVAS, but this tool will give you only test like VAPT stuff. For for the vulnerability assessment reports, you have to segregate those things into multiple parts. So from those results, there are plenty of false positive or some of the fake results as well. Also, there are some information which is not of your use, the kind of like fingerprinting and all. So those are information to your environment, but not that useful. So in that case, you have to do the PT part to that. All right.
If there is any question, so you can ask by unmuting yourself.
Hi, Deepak Rawat here. So I just wanted to know that, while selecting a company who can perform a the VAPT scan for us, or the assessment for us. So what points should we, consider for selecting a company?
So first thing, it completely depend on the organization who is selecting. If there is a no political pressure, then in that case, someone needs to see the technical part of it. So, uh, for example, if you are performing a network assessment or network scanning, in that case, you have to know, okay, I'm doing the network scanning. Then are they going to provide me the VA report, or they are going to manually validate the results, and they are going to support me for the remediation? So these are the three different points. Apart from that, you can also ask them questions. Okay, are you going to exploit the network? So if for example your application, your network is running a Windows XP, then is there is a possibility to exploit the Windows XP machines. So do are they going to actually exploit and take control to that machine and demonstrate that, or no? So you can ask these kind of questions to while selecting a company for the VAPT.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
Anybody else who wants to have a question with Ruchit, he is able to answer. You can unmute and ask question.
so there a question. Uh, are you empaneled with cert in? So we are not currently empaneled with certain, but we are in process of that. So maybe sometimes later this year we will be
So there is a
next.
criteria. There is a criteria to empanel with certain. So we are trying to fulfill that particular criteria before going ahead with the process of certain. We are in the line of process as of now.
Okay. Approx charges for VAPT assessment at the organization level include on-prem and cloud network and server. So that is completely depend on the number of devices, cloud network and servers. So what we can do, we will send you one small questionnaire. You just fill out the numbers and everything on it, and then we will quote like how much it will be, how much price it will be. What are the criteria we need to take for PT? So Shrikant, can you explain me like what like you can unmute yourself and ask like what sort of criteria, like what, I don't understand your question.
Srikanth, if you are available, please unmute yourself and ask.
Hi, this is Srikanth. PT, do you want to take the only the external facing websites or any other things we have to take majorly?
So we take internal websites and external. So we take everything. Uh, in terms of internal, we need to take one more step for that to access the internal website. So in that case, you can provide us like your organization's VPN, or we can provide you our one of the machine, or like one of the box we have, or one of the VM, so that we can access your internal application. If it is external application, then it is pretty simple. So we will provide you our IP address to whitelist, or to track the traffic from incoming traffic, and we can do the PT over the internet. Okay, if I miss any of the questions, you can unmute yourself and let me know.
And we will able to answer your every query regarding VAPT or any cyber security. There was one question regarding, do we provide the solution also along with the recommendation? Yes, we provide solution also along with the recommendation. So whatever findings we are going to provide you, alongside that, we can also propose you about the solution which will be beneficial to remediate your any kind of like issues with the network, with the application. We will able to help you in that also. We are here to answer your queries. If you have any query regarding the presentation, regarding VAPT or any other cybersecurity services, we can answer right now. You can ask us in the chat box or unmute yourself. My team will be calling you for the feedback about this particular session so that we can extend our services and we can like improve our presentation for next coming sessions. If there is any kind of feedback from your side, you can mention in chat or we will ask our team to call you regarding the feedback about the session. Yeah, Mr. Sunil, I will be calling you about for one-to-one discussion. So everyone, we are just ending this presentation as of now. We will wait for 1 minute more. If there is any question from your side, we will be able to answer or we will end this particular meeting. I hope this session helped you for about the knowledge of VAPT. So we will be ending this presentation now, and if you have any questions, you can email me. My email ID is sumit@adviacent.com. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you everyone. Bye. Bye.